Andrew Lockwood here. You know what time it is. It's August. Kids are back in school. Football's around the corner. Supply chain's always got juicy news stories. And we're going to dive into it. Before we do, though, do me a favor. Subscribe to this channel. If you like these updates, I am always up for your feedback on how we can improve this, how we can make the content relative, and something that helps you in your position. All right, so let's dive in. Looking at the domestic transportation part of the industry, rates have bottomed out. They've been that way since April. Really not going here or there anywhere. But diesel has gone up on the expectation that we're going to do this so-called soft landing. So those have shot up in a considerable way. Key leading stories here in the trucking industry: YRC bankrupt, Surge Transportation bankrupt, and then the parcel industry somehow avoided the strike that was going to come. 5-year deal for the Teamsters folks, 340 workers there affected. But UPS did lose about 1 million parcels during that time frame to competitors, just with a lot of strife there in the news. All right, taking a look at some of the Fed data, all employees for truck transportation kind of bounced back to a peak, which is a little bit weird to me. Volume, take a look at this graph, bottom left. We're going to see that tick up a little bit further in July. July was actually a really strong month from a volume standpoint. It's just the capacity soaked it all up, and that's why rates remained the same. Total rail cars, this has been pretty stable for the last year and a half. Not a lot of news stories there on that front, but very much mimics the U.S. trucking market, where outbound tenders are very, very low. Shifting gears, let's look at the ocean side of the equation. Container rates into the U.S. West Coast have doubled in the last couple months, and really back to a level that I kind of predicted maybe earlier in the year. I thought the floor was going to be about $2,000, $2,500. We're right around there after seeing a bottom of basically $1,000 per container, which is just crazy. We're seeing less fighting between the major carriers, and it's a weird dynamic because you have some more supply coming online. A lot of ships were purchased, built, and now they're being delivered. So you have additional supply coming online without the volume to really support it. So the price stabilization and almost increase in the last couple of weeks is a byproduct of the carriers not trying to undercut each other for market share. Import volumes a little bit above 2019 and 2020 volumes so far this year. Taking a look at the ports on the bottom left, since May, transit delays coming down. That's good news for a lot of people. So all is pretty calm waters there in the ocean overall. Air rates, however, have tumbled way down from the highs we saw early in 2022. Not quite to pre-COVID levels, but pretty darn close. Just the demand is not there to support the crazy rates that we saw. On the warehousing front, producer price index, the PPI, is basically just above zero for transportation and warehousing, coming out of negative territory. And we continue to see the warehousing and storage sector of the economy shed jobs, down roughly 50 to 60,000 here in the last 8 to 9 months. All right, pivoting over to the warehousing front, average rent right now nationally is $7.33. Vacancy rate has creeped up from the 3.94% range that we saw just a few months ago. LA is getting a little bit better, although the price is still sky high. We're talking $12, $13 a square foot, which is just insane. I've been very high on the Dallas market, but vacancy is coming down there. Houston, interestingly enough, is 9.2%. Great port market. You just got to go through the Panama Canal. Pay a little bit more. Go through the Panama Canal, folks. And get into Texas, and you can distribute centrally. So I still really like that strategy, especially if you're selling to everyone in the lower 48. Go through the Panama Canal if you can. From a construction standpoint, Phoenix is moving into the number one spot. It was DFW for a long time. Phoenix has almost 59 million square feet under construction in the pipeline right now. All right, finally, let's take a look at the last 4 graphs. Cass freight index shipments the indice has still been on the decline for the last couple months. Global supply chain pressure index is getting a little bit better, but not bounced back to zero. And then the trucking conditions and the shipper condition index, the two are independent, but again, it supports this idea that shippers have the leverage in the marketplace right now. We see that in the graph in the bottom right. All right, as I said, I am always up for your comments and feedback. Feedback is a gift. It helps me create content research and really deliver you the materials that you need to do your job or be informed in a better way. Appreciate you listening in, and until next month, Andrew Lockwood, this is the Supply Chain Update.